अगला स्टेशन जोगेश्वरी।
It actually means passion. Well, I think cricket is synonymous with this city basically.
Well, Mumbai city has had cricket since I remember, and it's always been the most popular sport.
This sport is in India probably born in this city. It's been, it has always played, has been played extensively in the neighborhoods of Mumbai.
During my time, cricket was the thing. You were something separate, you were something different from others, that is for sure.
I suppose everything. When you get a Sunil Gavaskar or a Sachin Tendulkar coming from your city, and I'm not taking a lot other great names, it's given city its own identity.
So cricket is like a way of life for a Mumbaikar.
The English embracing Mumbai city as one of their more important sort of bases in India during their rule. So the Harris and the Giles Shield, at the school level was started by two Englishmen. And that's where I think, the start happens for any young kid. We've got such a wonderful structure for any young kid to just come through the ranks and represent India, that, a kid is taken care of by having a tournament at every stage of his development, and that's the essence of Mumbai cricket.
The competitiveness is what makes it unique, because even the club games really that are played every weekend are at a pretty good standard. That's why you tend to produce a lot more players in Mumbai than the local cricket probably is a lot stronger than maybe any other state in India.
Game as such has not changed, it has remained there only. I think it's probably a bit lower in the standard as it was during my time. I think they were far better players then. You could point out class players during that time a lot more easily than you can do it now. But what has changed is the approach towards the game. I would say that to make grade in Bombay's cricket then, say about 25-30 years ago, was a lot more difficult than it is today. Today, people talk of higher level of cricket immediately after you start playing. Somebody does very well at school level, he is talked about at under 16, under 19. So many variations have come, under 16, under 19, under 23, and then Ranji Trophy. So there are 4 places where you can excel, and if you are good enough, you are bound to do that.
If I recount my experience of last 25 years of Mumbai cricket, I think Mumbai cricket in the past was strong, was more committed. The cricketers were very loyal to the clubs they represented. We had instances of Mr. Gavaskar, Mr. Vengsarkar, who just flew down from a tour and next day morning they were in the Maidans to represent their clubs. That was the culture that was existing in Mumbai. Number 2 is the school and college cricket levels have gone down, mainly because the number of teams, large number of teams that participate, resulting in them to be conducting these tournaments on limited overs basis. MCA has tried to overcome that by having an elite and played group, so that the elite teams at least have the multi-day games that are played, so that it helps Mumbai cricket in get better players. The club cricket also is not the same as in the past, because MCA unfortunately has got a large number of registered tournaments, and everything has to be crammed into a calendar of 3 or 4 months. I think we face issues of those type where we need to discuss and take a decision whether we want quality or quantity as our priority.
I think we need to sit and chat with some cricketers. I think we need to tell them that, cricket hasn't changed. Cultures have changed, but the game has remained the same. I know there is a lot of, facilities for cricketers, there are a lot of name that you can make out of cricket, but you got to come down to brass tacks. You got to understand that the way to the top is nothing but hard work. Unfortunately, many kids, the way to the top is not hard work.
Sometimes there can be no explanation for talent that comes in abundance or top quality talent, and sometimes despite best efforts, great infrastructure, a culture that's conducive to producing international sportsmen, you just don't seem to get talent. Sometimes there's no explanation to that. But what I have seen is the benefit that my generation got was that a lot of the international players actually played with us at the first class level or at the club level, so that was inspirational to us. That actually gives you a great spurt in growth as a cricketer. I think that link is becoming weak. Not too many international players are playing with Mumbai cricketers anymore, and I think also in Mumbai has not been blessed with the great captains that they had a few years back when they had a Sandeep Patil leading them, or a Ravi Shastri for a while, Ashok Mankarj, who would actually be able to produce talent of international standard while they themselves were captaining and playing their own game. They were also helping talent to blossom. Maybe Mumbai has not been that fortunate in that respect.
I think many people feel that Mumbai cricket has gone down because of the number of cricketers, Mumbai cricketers in the Indian team. But one has to really respect the fact also that the other states, the other towns, smaller places are producing good cricketers, because the cricket has developed all over India.
I mean, I started playing at Shivaji Park with Ramakant Achrekar, and some of the top guys who've played for Mumbai have obviously started at either Shivaji Park or the Azad and the Cross Maidans, or at Matunga. So yeah, I mean that's where you got cricketers from over the years. Even now, I mean, most guys who join any school which is a cricketing school have their practices at one of the Maidans. So
good thing about it's like playing on a different surfaces. Even Azad Maidan, Cross Maidan, Matunga, that is all Maidan real cricket, where actually where our as a cricketer to become playing for a country, I think they really contributed, because what it helped was our temperament. And I think that this is the Shivaji Park, we can say that so many cricketers are produced, and with these facilities, I think something in this soil we can say like.
ग्रास रूट में हम लोग को अगर जाना है तो मैदान क्रिकेट ही सबसे इम्पोर्टेंट है, क्योंकि हर क्रिकेटर मैदान से ही निकलेगा, बिना मैदान के निकल ही नहीं सकता है। जितना आके मैदान में खेलेगा उतना उसका क्रिकेट अच्छा होगा।
Today we face a problem in the Maidans in terms of the quality of wickets that are provided, or the quality of facilities that are available in Maidan, because there's a lot of pressure on the Maidans itself, because the very few public grounds are available in the city. And whether it is a Dasara festival or whether it's a community thing for Muslims, Azad Maidan has to be given by the government to all these functions. Or you take Shivaji Park. There's a big debate that rages today. High Court came down heavily on the authorities, but still political parties feel that that is the only open space which is available for them for their political rallies. There are Dasara festival. The same ground also hosts the May 1 parade of the Maharashtra government. I think the issue is that we need to maintain these Maidans, and that's a big challenge to Mumbai cricket.
No, school level you won't find that way facilities. Only few schools they have got their own grounds. Otherwise, other schools they have to hire ground, and that also during that season. Some schools you will find 2-3 months they are practicing and they are participating. In Mumbai city, especially short of ground, you see the population of the Mumbai city. Comparing that, you won't find this whatever Maidans we got in our custody or open grounds and all that. That is not enough. for these youngsters. Even regular practicing, clubs and all that, you will find very that way less facility, I will say.
All these Maidan clubs, they were the feeders of Bombay, but they are not playing anything among themselves. All that has been taken over by under 14, under 16, under 19, under 23. So where is the Maidan cricket gone? How can Maidan play cricket? When all their players have been chosen by MCA to play for their tune, there is nothing wrong in that. But what Maidan was providing has stopped completely. I feel that unless Maidan, between two clubs, a match will produce a lot better cricket than between two 16-year-old teams. Because 16-year-old teams are not necessarily selected on merits. If they are area-wise, if two 16-year-old teams are playing, the area-wise they will be playing against each other, not necessarily based from that area.
The biggest change that I see in Mumbai cricket is that the talent is now coming from the suburbs. The lifestyle of South Mumbai and sort of central Mumbai is changing. Earlier in the Mumbai Ranji team, you would have about 8 or 9 players who would come from South Mumbai. During my time, there would be about 3 or 4, but now you'll hardly find anyone from places like Cuff Parade, Naipinsi Road, or Worli for that matter. So all the talent that comes and represents Mumbai is now from the suburbs of Thane and Dombivli and all that. And that's because of the kind of lifestyle that South Mumbai leads. And my son is a great example. When I was growing up, there used to be a nice building compound there. There would be 10-15 boys coming down playing softball cricket every day. Now, simple things, make such a huge difference. That same compound where we used to play this number of competitive games and that games that hone my skill are now taken over by cars that are parked. My son is growing in a different school which doesn't give sports that much importance. They've got far too many options, at that important stage when you want to choose something that you want to be serious about. I didn't have those many options, so I could be single-minded in my pursuit of cricket. So all that is changing, and the kind of culture that I grew up in is now found in the suburbs, in much simpler lifestyle that the lower middle class lives in some parts of the suburbs.
The problem about Mumbai has been that Mumbai has been expanding without any planning. It's not even inadequate planning, it's absence of planning that really marks this city and compared to any other city in the world for that matter. And even today, we don't have a comprehensive plan for the city's growth and expansion. Now, this is very clearly reflected in the deterioration of the quality of life here. I remember now, for example, when my children were growing up, let's say 15 years back, or even 20 years back for that matter, I'm fairly a well-to-do middle-class person, with all the privileges that somebody like me have in this city, in terms of my incomes, in terms of my contacts. But the most sad thing has been that even my children grew up playing whatever sports they like to pursue, whether it's cricket or football. They played it on the streets in the neighborhood. There were no neighborhood playgrounds which children could, grow up with. And that is sad. That is sad about the way city is expanding. That's sad about the way our cities are being planned, the way cities are being used for profiteering, for real estate interest merely, which is at an enormous social and cultural and other costs. And I think that's what is reflecting in the kind of incapabilities or underdevelopment of sports in India in general and in our cities in particular, including in Mumbai.
Well, 2 years back, I think I attended a BCCI awards ceremony, and they had various awards for the best international bowler, best international batsman, and all that, best test cricketer. And it was interesting to find that all the awards were picked up by players who came from small towns. And that again has got a direct relation with the kind of lifestyle that metros are leading now. And it's the culture that you grow up in, which is really so important in the kind of products that it throws up. As I said, in metros, I don't think that kind of lifestyle that metros, especially the higher middle class and the high society lives, because metros are now more packed with people like that, will produce a hard-working, young, focused, young cricketer wanting to play for India. They've got far too many options, temptations, and they also have this inherent nature now that you don't necessarily need to work that hard. So the drive to become an international cricketer is now found in the smaller towns, people from simpler backgrounds, and it was the same kind of culture that I grew up in, which is the culture that you find in the smaller towns. So it's no surprise that you're not finding talent from the metros, and that will be maybe a permanent shift.
बिजनेसमैन का लड़का भी आके क्रिकेट नहीं खेलता है, खाली फन के लिए आता है, मैचेस खेलता है, निकल जाता है, प्रैक्टिस करता है, निकल जाता है, और फिर क्रिकेट खेलते सिर्फ गरीब बच्चे। और मोस्ट प्रोबेबली देखिए, मुंबई में किसी को वक्त देने के लिए वक्त नहीं है, पैसा है, वक्त नहीं है, किसी के पास इतना टाइम नहीं है। लड़के आते हैं, अभी एक नेट में अगर 50 और 100 लड़के लेंगे तो वो कोच क्या देगा वो लड़कों को, मुझे आप बताइए। क्वालिटी देना है तो क्वांटिटी कम करना चाहिए। देखिए, क्रिकेट कभी बदलता नहीं, क्रिकेटर बदल जाते हैं, लेकिन क्रिकेट कभी बदलता नहीं।
We need to seriously do something about our Maidans, improve the condition of the Maidans. Look at the question of whether you want so many tournaments to be played, or reduce the number of tournaments and play some quality cricket, so that you are able to spot good talent, good performances, and of course, the other issue which as an administrator and coming from the educational background, sometimes which I really feel concerned, is the importance that a Mumbai cricketer gives to his education. I think if other cricketers can be a graduate and also play for India, I don't understand why Mumbai cricketers cannot do that.
If you see that 25 years back, the club outfield is what was that? It's the same. But I think the people say we practice that way, we play the country from playing like that, so why not this? But I think that mindset has to come, like because of globalization, there are a lot of construction is going on. This is the only place is now left. Just take care of that, because who knows then afterwards that we struggle to maintain whatever we are right now got. So I think it is important, or rather say high time, that to give that, still think of that mindset of giving them a proper best facilities at a Maidan cricket, because in next 2.5 decades, Maidan cricket will be the pipeline of Mumbai cricket, because on this the school tournaments are going to play, your inter colleges are going to play, club cricket is going to play, your office cricket is going to play, so your entire cricket is going to play on those. So I think we have to take the care, means what we are doing, like the way we are taking care of last year. I think it's that mindset has to come. We have to give the best to the next generation.
I think cricket administrators don't have as much opportunity, or shall I say the facility to extend things. It's got to be the government. The government of Maharashtra must come in and start helping sport. Sport in toto, cricket in particular, because this city has a lot of cricket issues. And unless and until the Maharashtra government takes control over the grounds where lots of political rallies are held, lots of programs which are other than cricket are held, there's nothing more than we can do. The Mumbai Cricket Association is fighting for it for the last so many years to keep the grounds virgin for cricket or for sport. That is not happening, and unless and until that happens, we are not able to go anything further. But unless also there is an issue of supply and demand. The supply and demand is so large, and all these morchas, all these issues, all the political rallies must stop at these Maidans. Find some other place for them, pay heed to sport, make sport a compulsive subject, make sport an important subject of your life. Create people who play sports, allow people to develop for sports mentally. Like it said, cricket creates character. But if you don't give our youngsters the playground facilities, where are we going to get sport from?
But yeah, if I may sort of conclude by saying, let's play cricket, could be a metaphor to say, let's encourage sports, let's build playgrounds substantially, sufficiently in our cities to enable our youth, our children to not only have better health, but also contribute enormously towards promoting sports in this country and to equal and compete in the international arena in every way possible.